Somewhere along the banks of the Zambezi, the sun hasn't risen yet. The air is still cool, and beneath the surface of this river, something enormous is waking up. Two small eyes and a pair of ears break the surface, nothing else, just stillness, and the sound of breathing. This is a hippopotamus, 3,000 pounds of muscle, bone, and teeth. And despite what you might think, this is the most dangerous large animal in Africa. Those jaws can open nearly 2 feet wide. Their bite force? Almost 2,000 pounds per square inch, enough to snap a canoe in half. But right now, it's just another morning. Our hippo floats among the others, a pod of 30, all packed into this same stretch of river. Over the next few hours, we'll follow this one hippo through an entire day, from dawn to the last light of dusk. And along the way, you'll learn why these animals are far stranger and far more incredible than you ever imagined. Every pod has a leader, a dominant bull who controls this stretch of river. He's been here for years, and he didn't earn his place by being gentle. To mark his territory, he does something unusual. He spins his tail like a propeller, scattering dung across the water. It's not elegant, but every hippo nearby gets the message. When words aren't enough, the jaws come out. Males clash head-on, mouths wide, tusks colliding. These fights can last hours, and they can be fatal. The females stay close, a group of mothers and their young, tucked safely in the center of the pod. The bull patrols the edges. That's the deal. And beneath the surface, it's a different world entirely. Quiet, slow, weightless. This is where hippos are most at peace. Hippos don't swim. That's the first thing most people get wrong. Despite spending up to 16 hours a day in the water, they can't actually float. Instead, they walk along the riverbed, pushing off the bottom, drifting forward, then sinking back down. It's more like a slow-motion moonwalk than anything else. Their bones are incredibly dense, almost like ballast on a ship. It's what keeps them anchored to the bottom. And it's why you'll never see a hippo doing the backstroke. But what they lack in swimming ability, they make up for in breath control. A hippo can hold its breath for up to 5 minutes, and they do it without even thinking about it. Even when they sleep underwater, their bodies surface automatically to breathe, then sink back down, all without waking up. It's a reflex, built into them over millions of years. It's a quiet kind of magic, 3,000 pounds, rising and falling with the rhythm of the river, and the morning is still just getting started. Tucked between the adults, almost hidden. A calf, born just weeks ago, weighing around 100 pounds, tiny by hippo standards. Hippo calves are born underwater. Their very first act in this world is to swim to the surface and take a breath. They nurse underwater too. The mother stands in the shallows while the calf dives down, holds its breath, and feeds, then back up for air, over and over. When the current gets strong or the water gets deep, the calf climbs onto its mother's back, hitching a ride through the river. In the shallows, the calves play, splashing, bumping heads, chasing each other through the water, learning the rules of the pod, one game at a time. But the mother never looks away, not for a second. In a world of crocodiles and territorial bulls, her vigilance is the only thing keeping that calf alive. As the sun climbs higher, something strange happens. The hippo's skin begins to glisten. Not with water, but with something red. It's called blood sweat. It's not blood. And it's not sweat. It's a thick, oily secretion that acts as a natural sunscreen and an antibiotic. Without it, their skin would crack and burn within hours. It's one of nature's most elegant solutions, built-in sunscreen, that also fights infection. Watch the ears. Watch the nostrils. When a hippo goes under, they fold shut automatically. A perfect seal. Nothing gets in. And don't let the size fool you. On land, a hippo can run at nearly 20 miles per hour. Faster than most humans. Much faster. But the water calls. It always calls. And as the morning turns toward midday, our hippo settles back in. Deeper this time. The heat is building. Not everything in this river wants to eat you. Small brown birds called oxpeckers land on the hippo's back, picking off ticks and parasites, a fair trade. But there are neighbors who aren't so friendly. Nile crocodiles share these same waters, 14 feet of armored ambush predator. A crocodile can wait for hours without moving a muscle, perfectly still, perfectly patient. But even the most patient predator in this river knows when to back down. In fact, crocodiles have been seen actively avoiding hippopods entirely, swimming wide around them, taking the long way. It's not fear exactly, it's respect. And yet, crocodiles almost never attack adult hippos. They know better. One bite from those jaws and it's over. The crocodile gives way every time. Herons and egrets wade nearby. Kingfishers dart along the surface. The river is a whole neighborhood, and the hippo is the biggest thing in it. Beneath the surface, fish gather around the hippos. Small cichlids clean their skin, feeding on algae and dead tissue. Another partnership, another deal. From above, you can see the whole picture, a living network of animals, all connected by this one stretch of river. From up here, the river looks like a living map. Every animal has its place. Every species has its role. And the hippo sits right at the center of it all. Here's something nobody tells you about hippos. They're gardeners, not on purpose, but the effect is the same. Every night, they leave the river to graze. Every morning, they return. And when they return, they bring nutrients with them. The grass here is short and tough, not much to look at, but for a hippo, this is a feast. They've been grazing on grass like this for millions of years. Their digestive system is built for exactly this. Unlike most herbivores their size, hippos eat relatively little, about 80 pounds a night. An elephant eats 3 times that. It's one of the reasons hippos can spend so much of their day doing absolutely nothing. Their dung, tons of it, flows downstream. It feeds the fish, it fertilizes the plants, it keeps the entire river ecosystem alive. Scientists have measured it, removed the hippos from a river, and within a few years the fish populations collapse. The whole system unravels. These fish have learned that where there are hippos, there is food. The nutrients that flow downstream from the pod feed an entire aquatic food chain. Algae grows, insects breed, fish thrive. It's an invisible economy. The hippo eats on land, returns to the river, and pays the rent every single day. Without this cycle, the river would be a very different place. Some researchers have called the hippo a biological pump, moving nutrients from the savanna into the water, a living bridge between two ecosystems. So this animal, this 3,000-pound, short-tempered, territorial giant, is quietly holding an entire ecosystem together. The river gives the hippo a home, and the hippo gives the river life. That's the deal, and it's been that way for millions of years. Midday. The sun is directly overhead now, the air shimmers with heat, and the hippos barely move. The savanna bakes, temperatures pushing well over 100 degrees. Everything with sense has found shade or water. In the hottest part of the day, even the insects seem to disappear. The air is thick and heavy. Nothing moves unless it has to. A hippo's body temperature stays remarkably stable in the water. The river acts like a natural cooling system. While the savanna bakes at over 100 degrees, the hippo barely notices. This is the hour when the pod is most still. Bodies packed together, barely a ripple on the surface. If you didn't know they were there, you might walk right past them. Beneath the surface, their legs are braced against the riverbed, 3,000 pounds, balanced on 4 short legs in a gentle current. It looks effortless. It probably is. Our hippo is nearly fully submerged now. Just the top of the head showing, eyes half closed, breathing slow. This is the quietest hour. The birds have gone silent, the wind has stopped. Even the river seems to slow down. A yawn breaks the silence, slow, wide, almost lazy. Then the mouth closes and the stillness returns. Hours pass like this, the whole pod in a kind of trance, floating, breathing, waiting for the heat to break. Every now and then one will shift. A slight adjustment, a slow turn of the head, then stillness again. These animals have turned waiting into an art form. The calves are tucked between the adults, protected on all sides. Even in sleep, the pod maintains its formation. The bull on the outside, the mothers in the middle. Time moves differently here. Minutes stretch, the shadows barely shift, and the river just keeps flowing, carrying the afternoon along with it. This animal has been here a very long time. The hippopotamus lineage stretches back over 50 million years. They've outlasted ice ages, droughts, and mass extinctions. They once roamed across Europe, Asia, even Britain. Hippo fossils have been found in the Thames. London was hippo territory. And here's the strangest part. Their closest living relatives aren't pigs, aren't rhinos. They're whales. The hippo and the humpback share an ancestor. Watch a hippo glide underwater, and you start to see it. The way they move, the way they breathe, that same ancient rhythm. It's hard to believe, looking at a hippo, that it shares an ancestor with a blue whale. But the DNA doesn't lie. 55 million years ago, they were the same animal. Somewhere, millions of years ago, one branch of the family went to sea. The other stayed in the river. Both became giants, both became legends. 50 million years later, our hippo is still here, still in the river, still doing exactly what hippos have always done. Every generation of hippos has done exactly this, rested in the same rivers, walked the same paths, grazed on the same grass. For them, nothing needs to change. The river provides. And the hippo endures. The afternoon light begins to shift, the shadows grow longer, and something changes in the pod, a restlessness. The heat is starting to ease, the birds return. The river picks up its pace again. Life is waking back up. The light is different now, softer. The harsh white of midday has given way to something warmer, golds and ambers reflecting off the water. The day is finally turning. Our hippo lifts its head higher now, ears turning, nostrils flaring, testing the air. Something is pulling it toward the shore. Along the banks, other animals are moving too, elephants heading for the water, zebras crossing in the distance. The savanna's evening shift is clocking in. Elephants and hippos have shared these waterways for millions of years. They've learned to coexist. The elephants drink and move on. The hippos stay. It's an arrangement that works. Zebras cross in small groups, quick and nervous, always watching for predators. The hippo watches too, but with none of that urgency. Nothing out here is hunting a hippo. Soon, the hippo will leave the river. For the first time all day, it will walk on dry land, and the night will belong to it. But not yet. For now, there's still a little warmth left in the water, a little time left in the day, and our hippo is in no rush. The golden hour. Photographers live for this light. Everything it touches looks warmer, softer, more alive. Even a 3,000-pound hippo looks almost gentle in this glow. In a few more minutes, the sun will touch the horizon, and the hippo will begin its nightly journey. But for now, this moment, this light, this river, it's enough. The sun is lower now, the light has turned golden, and one by one, the hippos begin to move toward shore. Our hippo is among them, water cascading off that enormous body as it rises from the river for the first time all day. On land, a hippo looks different, heavier somehow. Without the water to hold it up, every step takes effort. The ground shakes just slightly. The savanna opens up ahead, miles of grass, and somewhere out there, dinner. A hippo can walk 5 miles in a single night to find the right grazing spot. 5 miles out, 5 miles back, every night, without fail. These trails have a name. Scientists call them hippo highways, deep grooves carved into the landscape by thousands of footsteps over generations. From above, you can see them clearly, long, winding paths connecting the river to the grasslands. Some of these trails are older than the oldest living hippo. It's another way the hippo shapes its world without even trying. Just by existing, just by walking, it builds roads for everyone else. Our hippo finds its spot, a flat stretch of short grass near a cluster of acacia trees, and it begins to eat. 80 pounds of grass. That's how much a hippo eats every single night. It sounds like a lot. But for an animal this size, it's actually quite modest. The stars come out, millions of them. No city lights for hundreds of miles, just the sky. And the sound of grass being torn from the earth. A hippo grazes with its lips, not its teeth. Those wide, flat lips work like a lawnmower, sweeping back and forth across the ground. It's a surprisingly delicate process for such a powerful animal, gentle, methodical, almost meditative. The night air is cooler now, a relief after the punishing heat of the day. This is the hippo's element, the hours between dusk and dawn. These belong to them. Other animals move through the darkness too. Hyenas call in the distance. A leopard might be watching from a tree, but nothing bothers a full-grown hippo. Nothing. Hours pass, the stars wheel slowly overhead, and our hippo just keeps eating, steady, patient, unhurried. But this world isn't as safe as it used to be. Not for hippos, not for anything out here. Droughts are getting longer. Rivers that once ran year-round are drying up for months at a time. And when the water disappears, the hippos have nowhere to go. In some parts of Africa, hippos are being pushed into smaller and smaller patches of river, competing with farmers for water, losing ground every year. They're listed as vulnerable, not endangered, not yet. But the trend isn't good, and most people have no idea. Conservation efforts are underway, protected reserves, anti-poaching patrols, river restoration projects. But progress is slow, and the clock is ticking. Here's why it matters. Remember the river, remember the fish, remember the ecosystem that depends on hippo dung to survive. Remove the hippos, and the rivers change. The fish decline, the plants shift. The whole downstream ecosystem begins to unravel. Scientists call the hippo a keystone species. Take it away, and the arch collapses. Everything connected to it falls apart. It's a strange kind of importance. Not loud, not obvious. The hippo doesn't hunt, doesn't build, it just eats grass and returns to the river, and somehow that's enough. That's enough to keep entire ecosystems alive. That's enough to shape the landscape. That's enough to matter more than almost any other animal on this continent. Our hippo doesn't know any of this, of course. It just knows the grass, the water, the path between the two. And that's all it needs to know. The sky is changing again. Not lighter yet, but different. A deep blue replacing the black. Dawn is still an hour away, but the hippo knows. It turns back toward the river. The same path, the same highway. 80 pounds heavier than when it left. Our hippo moves steadily, not fast, not slow. Just the same pace it's kept all night. There's no rush. The river isn't going anywhere. And just like that, the hippo steps back in. The water rises around its legs, its belly, its back, until only the eyes and ears are showing again. Two small eyes, a pair of ears breaking the surface, just like when we first met. You know what those jaws can do. You know what that skin secretes. You know about the bones that are too dense to float, and the reflex that breathes for them while they sleep. The birds are back, the insects hum. The other animals drift toward the water. Another day begins at the river. And our hippo yawns, slow and wide, then settles in, eyes half closed, breathing slow, right back where it started. There's something reassuring about an animal that does the same thing every day, the same river, the same path, the same rhythm, day after day, year after year. No ambition, no anxiety, just the water and the grass and the slow turning of the seasons. Maybe that's why people watch hippos at the zoo and can't look away. Something about that stillness, that weight, that calm. 3,000 pounds, completely at peace. The river keeps moving, the hippo stays still, and the day stretches out ahead, long and warm and unhurried. The water holds you, the sun warms you. There's nothing left to do, and nowhere else to be. Good night, Hippo.